Brock Lesnar. It's great to see you. What's changed?
So I got to sit here and watch that and explain to you.
Yes, you do,
why,
my friend.
in God's name, are you doing this again?
Why are you going back in the octagon for UFC 200?
Because I couldn't live with that decision. It was like going back to that interview. It was a hard decision for me to make, and that decision has haunted me for the last 15 months. And I figured I couldn't live like that for the rest of my life. I'm a big believer in living out your dreams and facing your fears and just facing the reality of, I don't want to be sitting 20 years from now saying, you know what, son, you should have went and did that. And here I am. And on the biggest stage of them all, I was on UFC 100, so why not be on UFC 200?
So whose idea was this? Who started the conversation?
This is very simple. This was me sitting having a cup of coffee at my farm in Canada and thinking I'd waking up every morning and feeling this feeling of, was that the right decision? Was that the right decision?
When did you start feeling this way? Right, immediately?
Immediately, as a matter of fact, immediately, yeah. And I didn't even tell my wife. I told nobody. This thing haunted me on the inside for a long time. But I thought, you know what, if I was in the WWE, I could still kind of have those feelings inside the ring. But the true competitor in me is still alive and well, and I have to do this.
Okay, you left. You had 2 bouts with diverticulitis. So when you left, you weren't healthy. Is this a sense of having unfinished business? Why did this haunt you so much?
It haunted me because at the top of my career, I wasn't at the top of my game. So I felt like I was cheated out of my career in the UFC. I didn't lose in my mind, in my heart. I never lost to a foe. I never lost to my opponent. I lost to the diverticulitis. That was my opponent that beat me. Other people may have other thoughts and say other things about the way I performed. My performance was due to the illness, and absolutely yes. I'm sitting here today. I feel 1,000%. I wouldn't get in the octagon if I didn't. I'm not a second guesser. The only thing I second guessed was my decision of stepping away from the octagon. I know it's been a long time, but I feel great. I don't have to fake it. I'm not faking and telling anybody that, you know, I'm in the greatest shape of my life or something like that. This is for real. This is for real. I'm so excited, and I'm glad with my decision.
So who's your opponent going to be on July 9th?
I think he just signed the contract as we were walking in here. I was coming in here, and he hadn't signed it yet, but I do believe that it's done and it's official. And on July 9th, UFC 200, I'll be facing Mark Hunt.
Mark Hunt. Okay, 42 years old, 8th ranked heavyweight in the UFC. Why Mark Hunt?
Why not? Well, it could be anybody. I didn't care. That's how simple it is.
You mean you didn't have any say at all in who your opponent was going to be?
There was no, I didn't. I've never turned down a fight in the UFC. I've never walked away. I'm not the guy. Even when I was the champ, I never turned down a fight. And even when I was fighting to be the champion, I never turned down a fight. If Dana White called me and said, "You have opponent X, Y, and Z. Who do you want?" He never gave me those options. This is a guy that we want you to face. I said, "Great." That's
and you
what
said,
I'm going to do.
Fine with me. Guy made his UFC debut in 2010, 7-4-1 record, won each of his last 2 fights by knockouts. His last loss came in May of 2015. How do you match up with him?
Well, I'm a grappler at heart. He's a heavy hitter, and I think that's what the people want to see. The UFC ultimately culminated because we're gonna put guys with opposing disciplines against each other. I think I match up very well. If Mark Hunt ends up on the ground, the fight's over. I've been working, obviously I need to work on my stand-up game, but I'm excited and enthusiastic of doing so. That's the difference.
Can you walk me through this as a business deal? All right, so you're sitting on your farm, you're having these thoughts, you want to go back and fight again, you want to finish that chapter of your life, then who do you call? Did you call Vince McMahon? Did you call Dana White? How did these 2 entities come together to allow you to do this?
It's very simple. Nobody called me. It wasn't nobody else's idea. Dana didn't pick up the phone because somebody we need to fill a spot.
Because Conor McGregor isn't going to be there, Ronda Rousey's not going to be there. It's
It didn't happen
obviously
like
huge. UFC 200 is huge. That was not the scenario.
No, it was not. I picked up the phone. It was me. I don't even remember. It's been 3 months ago. But it's taken some time for things to play out.
Right.
But I just said, what are the chances of having Brock Lesnar on the card at UFC 200? And we got together. You know, obviously I'm still under contract with WWE.
So what was their response to this?
Well, you just go in and sit down and have a big boy conversation with the boss, Vince McMahon, and it's simple. It's big business. It's billionaire business, and I'm big business. So why the hell wouldn't anybody want Brock Lesnar involved? So
he could have been territorial about it. I mean, does the WWE get anything in return for allowing you to do this?
I think it's very narrow-mindedness. If you know, I'm a crossover athlete. Okay, I'm the modern day Bo Jackson, people. I'm excited about it. I'm enthusiastic. I couldn't be more excited and honored and to have the opportunity that both companies have faith in Brock Lesnar to allow him to step back in the octagon. Even Dana White or the Fertitta brothers, for me to be gone and to have the impact that I did, and for them to allow me to come back and represent this big show is a great honor for me.
Why do you think that in the end that White welcomed you back?
Big business. It's all. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a prize fighter, and I don't fight. Listen, titles don't pay the bills. What pays the bill? I'm a prize fighter. I fight for money, and it's no different. They're making money. I'm making money. Everybody's making money. That's what this is all about. But more importantly, it's not about the money to me. And I've always said money's very important to me. But you can't step inside the octagon just for the money. This is in my heart. This is from the heart, and it just so happens I'm making a boatload of money.
Well, as he says with a big smile on his face. So you told me you don't know where your trophies are and your awards are, but you know what's in your bank account. How much money are you making with this venture?
I can't disclose. I mean, there's lots of